Hey, this is Steve Keys here with Keller Williams Capital District. We're here with another episode of Hey, How's the Market? This week we are taking a look at Warren County. This is the monthly review for the month of March 2024. All right, so total active inventory. We've got Queensbury School District coming in at first place with 31 properties on the market. Lake George School District coming in at second place with 28 properties on the market. Total active inventory for Warren County was 169 properties for this month. New pending properties this month. We had Queensbury School District coming in first place with 18 properties going under contract. North Warren School District coming in at second place with 9 properties going under contract. Total properties under contract this month was 53. New sold properties this month. We had Glens Falls coming in at first place with 8 properties closed this month. And Queensbury School District coming in at second place with 6 properties closed this month. Total closed properties for this month was 26 properties. Sold to list price ratio. Glens Falls School District took first place with 102%. Properties selling at 102% of what they were listed for. And then Queensbury School District coming in at second place with 98% of what they were listed for. Total sold to list price ratio for the county was 97.5%. For price points, 300 to 400,000 took first place with 15 properties under contract. 200 to 300,000 took second place with 14 properties under contract. For chance to sell, 300 to 400 stood the best chance of selling at just under 52% chance of selling, and 0 to 200 took second place with just over 39% chance of selling. By school district, Queensbury School District stood the best chance of selling at just over 58%. And Glens Falls School District took second place at 50% chance of selling. Total chance to sell for Warren County was just over 31%, and the highest sale in Warren County was about $1.3 million, a Adirondack-style log home with 5-bed, 3-bath, about half-mile inland from Lake George, from the actual lake. All right, so end of month, beginning of month inventory. So inventory is heading on a downward direction. End of month has spiked up a little bit. That is telling us that we had less properties close or expire than we had new properties come on the market this month. And for monthly inventory, we see the total active inventory number, and we can see that, yes, it was level a little bit. It has come up this month. Not really enough to indicate a trend, but it is heading in an upward direction, it seems. Our pending numbers have been headed up for the last 4 months, so that is showing a little bit of a trend. Sold numbers are still down, but as we've said, those are a little bit behind. So actually, we can look here. I've always said it's about two months behind or so. We could see the dip down here, and we could see the dip down here. So it looks like it's probably about 4 months or 3 months. What would that be considered? 1, 2, 3. 3 months behind? 4 months behind? I don't know. It looks like the sold numbers of today kind of are matching up with the pending numbers from December. So I don't know what you call that. 3 months ago? I don't know. 3 months, 4 months, I don't know. Active days on market. You can see active average days on market are holding steady. For the pending and sold numbers, pending is showing a little bit of a dip for the past 3 months. Sold numbers is only dipping for the past 2 months. That's telling us that the newer properties, as more properties are coming on the market, well, I've said this before, new properties that are coming on the market, those are selling before the old stale stuff that no one wants to buy. An average price, our moving average is showing a lot of activity, but our linear trend is pretty much flat. It's holding very steady at just over that 400,000 mark. So over the course, and I think this is 15 months, it's 15, somewhere between 15 and 17, I'd say. But that many months of data, my plan is to do the monthly ones out for 3 years to have that much. So we got a ways to go until this is full. But that's showing very level over the course of these past 15 to 17 months. List price to sold price ratio, here's 100%, this line up here. So we were at 97% this month. So we are above our linear average for this month. Our linear average is at about 96%. So that's what I would say if someone were to say, dealing with a buyer or a seller, probably a buyer. This is more valuable information for a buyer. Homes are on average in Warren County listed for, they will sell for 96% of what they are listed for. And then our expired canceled, we're showing a downward trend since about October-ish, I would say. This is the end of, I know this is October 1st, but end of October is the date for the numbers. So since October, our expireds have been heading in a downward trend. All right, so that's it for the charts. One more thing that I wanted to address. When I was pulling the numbers for this month, I messed up on the dates. And I did 2 of the counties wrong. I had to redo them. But what that means is that what I got for Washington County and Schenectady County, I got all of these charts, not including anything that was listed after March 1st. And then I had to redo it again, including everything. So I have comparisons of, hey, this is what the chart would have looked like when you don't include anything listed this month, and when you do include the numbers for this month. Now, all I have are screenshots, so they're the screenshots of the emails that I send out. So I would have liked to have had more of the numbers. There's almost no days on market on this. I don't have the average price for the pendings. And the sold numbers is really the focus of the picture. Those don't change, because in order for there to be a difference, the property would have had to have listed and closed in March. So it had to have closed in like 4 weeks, which, unless it's a cash deal, cash deals will do that, but financing is not likely to happen. So the 3 categories that I have for these 2 are the total active properties on the market, the end of month properties on the market, and the pending properties for that month for Washington and Schenectady County. So Washington County, the lowest active county that we have in the Capital District, and then Schenectady County is a fairly active county, probably number 3. It's hard to beat Albany and Saratoga in terms of activity, but Schenectady is pretty active considering it only has 6 school districts. All right, so Washington County. Total active properties increased 51% when you included the properties from March. Schenectady County increased 107% when you included the numbers from March. So Schenectady County doubled and then some. The end of month numbers, Washington County increased 42% and Schenectady County increased 77%. So the connection between those 2 numbers is it's telling you is less of the properties, proportionately, less of the properties listed in March were still available at the end of March. And another thing to consider is that some of those properties were listed 3 days before the end of March. So it's not all that likely that they were going to go under contract in 3 days. It's possible some of the properties did it, but for all of the properties to go under contract in 3 days, let's be honest, every once in a while you're going to list a dud, and it's not going to go under contract in 3 days. So less properties listed in March were still available at the end proportionately than the properties listed before March. I don't think I'm saying that very well. But this next number, I think, will drive home the point that I'm trying to make. Pending numbers in Washington County went up 86% when you included the numbers from March. And Schenectady County, those numbers went up 141% when you included the numbers from March. So that's almost like 2.5 times what the beginning number was for the pending numbers. So what do all those numbers mean? Well, it means 2 things, I think. First of all, I would say that the spring market has started. So if you're a seller thinking, hey, when's the best time for me to put my home on the market? Well, I would say now. And of course, I would say now. Every real estate agent's going to say now. They'll say that in December too. But here's why I actually mean it. Our inventory is still fairly low. So you have less competition. There's not as much out there to compete with. And our pending numbers are indicating that we do have the number of buyers that we should have. So our buyers has increased before our sellers has. So this is really the good time to list because you've still got all of the potential buyers, but less of the competition. So if you're a seller sitting on the fence, spring market's here, go ahead and list that home. The other thing that I think this tells you is that the properties that were listed in March had a much higher percent chance of selling than the properties listed before March. This kind of reinforces a thing that you've probably heard from real estate agents before, is that time on market is what kills your house. So the most unattractive feature of your house when you're trying to sell it is how long it's been on the market, which is really kind of goes back to a pricing thing. Making sure that the home is priced correctly, don't overlist your house, and make sure that it's ready to go when you sell it. If your home is sitting on the market for too long, take it off and try it again. Let people forget about it, because the longer your home is on the market, the less likely you're going to sell it. And I think these numbers kind of reinforce both those 2 points. All right. So that has been this week's episode. Thank you for joining me. And please tune in again next week as we take a look at the question, hey, how's the market? Bye-bye for now.